Hello, friends. Welcome to Yoga Week. We are live on 3 different platforms at the same time. We're on YouTube and on Instagram and on Facebook, and so welcome, friends. This is the first time I've ever done something like this, and I am so thrilled and so honored that you are joining me. So will you say hi, pop in the comments, say hi, tell us where you're streaming from. We're so excited that you're here. All right, let me introduce myself. It's not fair to ask you to introduce yourself and not do the same. So my name is Caroline Williams. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of The Abbey. The Abbey is an online yoga membership community, and my heart for Yoga Week is to create a space for you and I to yoga together, right? YouTube is awesome because you get to do it from home, but there's just something so sweet about practicing live together. And so that's the heart of Yoga Week today. For the next 3 days, I'll be going live at a different time each day and sharing just a 20-minute practice with you. Now, I've heard from thousands of you who have signed up for Yoga Week and told me what you desire this week, and just the overwhelming theme from so many of you who emailed or messaged me was that you wanted to learn how you can connect this physical yoga practice with God. Can this space really be a space of worship and connection? Is it really okay for Christians to come to this space and meet with God, the God of the Bible, the God of the Trinity? And so that's what we're going to explore this week, friend. As you know, because we're live, I'm here to answer your questions, take your comments. My beautiful friend Allison, and the Abbey's content manager, is behind the scenes. So if you see someone jumping in the comments or helping you out, that's Allison. She's amazing. And if there's anybody joining today from the Abbey, please say a special hi. We are so happy to yoga with you live here instead of just in the Abbey. So a couple things before we get started. Number one, again, if you have any questions about yoga, about the Abbey, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll answer them after our practice. And then after our practice, I'll be doing a giveaway. Woo! I'm giving away 3 copies of my Foundations of Yoga DVD. I'll tell you more about it later, but this is a series that I created for the absolute yoga beginner. So if you are like, this is the first time I've ever stepped on my yoga mat, I don't even know what down dog is, this video series is for you. So I'll tell you how you can win that and all of that after our practice. But for now, friends, let's jump in. What I'm going to teach you today is my favorite morning yoga practice. I am not a morning person, so like waking up and doing like 50 push-ups is not my kind of morning exercise. If that's you, then we'll have a practice later in the week that's a bit more active. But this morning is going to be all about warming up the body, greeting God, grounding ourselves in love, and being present for the day ahead. So let's begin just by finding a really comfortable seated position. I'm going to sit cross-legged. If you would prefer to lie down or to kneel or lean against a wall or a couch, please feel free to. There's no perfect way to sit. There's just the perfect way to sit for your body so that you're comfortable. So find a comfortable seat. Comfortable seat is a place where you can feel rooted in the lower part of your body and long in the upper part of your body. And so you can fill the space in between the roots at the bottom and the reach at the top with your breath. And so I invite you, as you settle into this space, to close your eyes. Just begin to notice your breath. Notice what it feels like to be in your body this morning. Notice that the presence of God is here with us now. It's not something we have to earn or strive for or pray hard enough for. The Bible tells us that these bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit. And the word that Paul uses in 1 Corinthians, where he talks about your body being a temple, is this Greek word that means not just the whole tabernacle or the whole temple, but the Holy of Holies, the inner sanctuary where the glory of God manifested. He says, your body is the Holy of Holies. This is where God dwells. And so, friend, take a few deep breaths into the recognition of God's presence. God brought you here So let's fix our hearts on God. I'm going to open our practice with a blessing from a book of blessings that I love called Every Moment Holy. This is a liturgy for the ritual of morning coffee, but we're going to call it a liturgy for the ritual of morning yoga. So just receive these words as I speak them, and then we'll begin to move a bit. Meet me, O Christ, in the stillness of morning. Move me, O Spirit, to quiet my heart. Mend me, O Father, from yesterday's harms. From the discords of yesterday, resurrect my peace. From the discouragements of yesterday, resurrect my hope. From the weariness of yesterday, resurrect my strength. From the doubts of yesterday, resurrect my faith. From the wounds of yesterday, resurrect my love. Let me enter this new day aware of my need and awake to your grace, O Lord. So God, we pray as we always do, that this time on our yoga mats would be a time of surrender and worship, a time where we lay down our heavy burdens at your feet and pick up your peace, your joy, and your grace for this day. We thank you for your new mercies. And we just say that we long to fix our hearts and our minds on you in these next few minutes especially. In Jesus' name, amen. Now open your eyes, take a really big breath in, and a big sigh out. And then we're just going to start to move really simply through our spine. So come to a seated position. Cross-legged is ideal here. And put your hands on your knees or maybe your shins. And we're going to arch our spine forward, squeeze our shoulder blades together, lift our chin and breathe in. And then round our spines, tuck your tailbone, puff up the back of your chest, and drop your chin as you exhale. Inhale to arch your spine, open your chest. And exhale to round your spine and drop your chin. Take about 2 or 3 more of these just like this. This is called cat and cow pose. We can do this seated like we are. We can do this kneeling on hands and knees. But I love doing it seated like this first thing in the morning as a way of just sort of cracking open those stiff places in my back and finding my breath through the whole length of my spine. Good. One more round, ending in cat pose. And then as you inhale, sit up nice and tall with a long spine and then stretch your arms over your head. As you exhale, point your palms towards the floor and slowly lower your hands down. So there's this thing that we do in yoga where we try and match our breath with our movement. It creates this sense of harmony and integration and helps us promote this sense of and feeling of wholeness. So see if you can do that. As you inhale, slowly lift your arms up. And as you exhale, slowly press your palms down. You may find that your breath is longer or shorter than mine, and that's okay. You'll find that the longer you practice yoga, the deeper breaths you're able to take. And we can talk more about why that is throughout the week. But for now, just see if you can match inhale to rise and exhale to lower. Good. On your next inhale, reach both arms long overhead. And then as you exhale, lower your right hand down to the mat and stretch your left arm over your ear. I could do this stretch all day, every day. What I want you to do is heavy this left hip down into the mat and then really stretch your left fingertips over your ear. And rather than putting all your weight in this bottom shoulder, can you push your weight through the sides of your ribs and fill that space with your breath? The Bible tells us that it uses the same word for breath as it does the Spirit of God. The Bible talks about God breathing life into Adam, and so feel the breath of God filling the side of your ribs. Now we're going to move and breathe in this shape. So as you inhale, bend your elbow, open your chest. And then as you exhale, stretch your left arm down and away so that you find sort of a diagonal stretch across your back. A couple more times like this. Inhale to open. And exhale to round. You've got one more just like this. Big full breath in. And a long, slow breath out. And then stay in this shape. You can put your fingertips down on the floor, drop your chin down into your chest, keep heavying this left outer hip, and send your breath into the sticky spaces. This is the gift of yoga, is that it helps us notice those places of tension where we hold anxiety in our body, and it invites us to just linger there a bit longer and breathe into that space. And as we do, we invite God's healing, God's spaciousness, and we surrender. Good, now as we sit up, keep your left hand on the left side of your body, put it on your right knee, and then bring your right hand behind you. Sit up nice and straight, pointing the front of your body towards the front of the room. And then as you exhale, turn yourself over to the right. Now if you're pregnant, keep baby pointing forward and just turn your upper chest. If you're not pregnant, see if you can find a nice deep twist over to the right side. You can turn your head over your back shoulder. Good. And don't forget to breathe. On your next exhale, slowly come back up to the center. Inhale to reach both arms overhead again. And then we'll do this all on the left side. So lower your left fingertips to the mat, big stretch over to the left. And just notice the difference in this side. Does it feel similar or different to the right side? You don't have to analyze it or try and understand it, but just notice it. Good. And then we'll move forward and back in this shape. So as you inhale, open your elbow wide, tip your chest out. And then as you exhale, round and reach in front of you. Good, 2 more on your own. And then after your second exhale, lower your fingertips to the floor or maybe to your leg, drop your chin down, and spend a couple of breaths here. God has brought you here, friend, so fix your heart on God. Welcome Him in with each new breath. And let go of any heavy thing you're holding with each breath out. Good, now as we sit up, we're gonna sit up in our twist. So put your left hand on your right leg, slide your left fingertips behind you, sit up nice and tall, big breath in, and then as you exhale, find a gentle twist over to the left. Head can look over your back shoulder. Good, and then unwind yourself, come all the way back to the center, and just take a couple easy rolls through your shoulders. Maybe it feels good to roll your neck side to side. It's less about getting this perfect, but just beginning to explore some movement in your body. All right, come back up to center. We're gonna make our way onto hands and knees. Now I know some of you messaged me and said you've got carpal tunnel or you're recovering from shoulder issues. So I want to offer you a couple of modifications if that's you. If hands and knees just doesn't feel good on your knees or your hands, you can always stay in a seated position like we just were. You can come onto your fists if you've got issues with your wrists, or you can come down onto your forearms instead. And if your knees bother you, you can always fold up your yoga mat so you've got a bit more padding, or again, like I said, continue in a seated position. For now, I'm going to find hands and knees, and we're going to move through cat and cow in our whole spine. So as you inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your tailbone and your chest, and then as you exhale, round your spine through the full length of your spine. 2 more times. Inhale to open up. Exhale to round. 1 more time. Inhale to open. Long breath out as you exhale. Good, come back to all fours and then walk your fingertips over to the right corner of your mat and pull your hips back and away in the opposite direction. This is another way of side bending, but on hands and knees. You can rest your forehead on the floor if it reaches, or just sort of hold it up, but send your breath into the left side of your body here to make space. Good, and then walk your fingertips over to the opposite corner of your mat. Pull your hips back and away. Soften through your side body. Good, and then come back to the center. Widen your knees to the edges of your mat, but keep your big toes touching. sit your hips back as far as they'll go, and we're going to lower into what's called child's pose. So your forehead will find the floor. If it doesn't reach the floor, you can stack your hands up. And if you get here and you're like, this feels terrible, then again, friend, find a simple seated position instead. But what child's pose offers us is a space to fully surrender, to go inward, to offer ourselves with childlike faith before God. And so I just invite you as you kneel here with your arms outstretched, maybe your palms are turned up, to offer anything to the Lord that feels heavy or ill-fitting this morning. Could be pain in your body, could be crushing anxiety, could be just the to-do list of things ahead of you today that feels overwhelming. Offer it to the Lord now. And then just ask the Lord, what do you have for me in place of this pain or anxiety or overwhelm? And listen to what he has to offer you. And slowly press yourself up. And if there's nothing that came to mind immediately for you, if you didn't hear the booming voice of God, that's okay. God is with us. He drew you here, and we continue to offer our bodies and our breath as worship. So let's keep building our practice. Plant your hands on the mat. Tuck your toes underneath you. We're going to find one downward facing dog in today's practice. So tuck your toes under you, lift your knees and your hips, and then with your knees still bent, see if you can reach your hips far away from your fingertips. Now, we want to build a good measurement in downward dog. So roll forwards to plank. We'll be here just a second. And see if you can line up your wrists under your shoulders. You don't want your hands way out here. You don't want your hips way up here. But you want your wrists right under your shoulders, and then keep your hands and feet where they are. Bend your knees again and send your butt way up and away from your fingers. And then once you find downward dog, bend one knee and then the other, stretching through the backs of your legs. This may feel real strenuous, but I challenge you just to stay for one more breath. Good. And then step your feet nice and wide on your mat. Bend your knees really deep and walk your hands back to your feet so that you're hanging in a forward fold towards the back of your mat. Now, when we're folded in half like this, we don't want to lock our legs because then we pull on our low back. So put a little bend in your knees. Think about sending your sit bones high up to the ceiling. And your belly may not touch your thighs. That's okay. Maybe it does. Also okay. But we want to find a nice long stretch through the back of our legs. If it feels good to put your hands on the floor or on your legs, you can do that. It might also feel good to grab your elbows and just sort of hang here like a rag doll. Notice if you're working really hard to hold your head up, and see if you can just relax through your neck and your jaw. Hanging here in this posture of surrender. Good. And then bring your hands onto your thighs. Bend your knees just a little bit and slowly press yourself all the way up to stand. And when you get to a standing position, bring your feet underneath your hips. Take a big full breath in, reach your arms up. Big breath out, hands to your heart. Good, one more time. Inhale, lift your arms up. This time as you exhale, just lower your right hand down. Take one more side bend over to the right side. And then come all the way back up to the center. One nice side bend over to the right side. The left side. Beautiful. Back up to the center. Both arms overhead as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring both hands behind you. Interlace them if you can, right at your low back. Reach your knuckles down towards the floor. Open your chest up. Lift your chin, kind of like a cow spine. And then keep your fingers interlaced. And as you exhale, bend your knees and fold yourself back in half. Some of us have really mobile shoulders. Some of us, like me, do not. So this may not feel super great in your body. You can release your fingers whenever you want, coming back to your forward fold. Gently walk your fingertips back forward so that you're in a plank. You may have to step your feet back, that's all right. And then lower your knees to the mat and sit back in your child's pose. See if you can feel your breath fill the front and back of your body in child's pose. See if you can separate your back teeth so that your jaw unclenches. And see if you can just notice the rhythm of your heart and your breath and the sensation in your body, and welcome it in the presence of God. So many times we step into worship or exercise and we turn off one part of ourselves. I'm here to work out. I'm not here to think about God. Or I'm at church. I'm not here to think about what's going on in my body. But God occupies all those spaces. He longs to redeem and restore all these parts of ourselves. So let's offer them in fullness this morning. All right, come to sit back up on your shins. And then sit your hips over to the left side, your feet over to the right side. We'll do one more side bend. I know I said when we were standing up, it was our last one, but I just love them, so we're gonna do one more round. Right fingertips on the side of your body, left fingertips reach up and over. And you may have found over the course of this practice that some of these poses feel better in your body than others. That's a great thing to notice. Good, come all the way back up. Bring your feet to the mat in front of you and just sway your knees from side to side. Good, and then we're going to bring our shins over to the left side of our body. Plant your left fingertips outside your shins. Reach your right arm up and over. Good, and then come all the way back up to the center. Cross your legs in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. Now place your hands over your heart. Soften your eyes or maybe even close them. And see if you can feel your breath, not just underneath your hands, but also in the sides of your ribs and the front of your belly. God has brought you here, friend. Here to this yoga mat, here to your community, here to your job, here to your family. God has brought you here. So fix your heart on God. Take a moment just to respond to the Lord. God, we say thank you. That even when we step off our yoga mats, we're not stepping out of your presence. This is holy ground. So God, give us the courage to step into our workplaces and our kitchens and our churches and our grocery stores, knowing that you led us there, knowing that you are present among us. So God, we love you and we thank you and we submit ourselves to you. In Jesus' name, amen. At the end of yoga practice, if you go to a yoga studio or a gym or something, the teacher will probably end by bringing their palms together and bowing and saying namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word, and it means, it's like a blessing of honor or respect. It can mean something like, the light in me honors the light in you. As followers of Jesus, we say, I see the light of Christ in you, and I bow to it not out of worship, but out of honor. I see God at work in you. I see you being a vessel of the Holy Spirit. And so, friends, I say, I see the light of Christ in you, and I honor it, and I bless it, and I say thank you for practicing with me this morning. I hope this practice was a blessing to you. I would love to know what of the different movements we did felt the best in your body today. So jump in the comments, tell me what felt really great. If nothing felt great, that's also okay. You can totally say that. It's helpful to know that this is my favorite kind of morning practice, what I feel like I need when I wake up. But you're probably different. You may feel when you wake up like side bending isn't what you need, but some kind of chest opening, ooh, that felt really good. So think about it for a minute, drop it in the comments. For our giveaway today, I'm going to be giving away a DVD to someone from each community, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, who left a comment saying what felt best in their body. So if you want to enter to win the DVD, drop your comment in saying what felt good in your body in this practice. So friend, I'm going to be going live again for the next 3 days at 3 different times. So if you're watching the replay of this, I hope you can join me live for one of the future times. Noon Eastern is when we're going live tomorrow. If you want a calendar reminder or want to get on the email list so that I can email you a reminder, go to the website that Allison's about to drop into the comments for you. It's CarolineWilliamsYoga.com/yoga week. You can sign up, get the reminders, get it on your calendar, because I'd love to do this again with you tomorrow, yeah? And then again, if you have questions about this practice, about how to do more of this, about what the Abbey is, how to be part of the community, drop those in the comments and I'll answer those in just a minute for you as well. So I've got my computer here so that I can see what it is you want to know. But if you can, let's do this actually. Let me grab these DVDs and tell you about them quickly while you're dropping your comments in. So a few years ago, I did a Kickstarter campaign and we raised about $10,000 and we created these DVDs because I had so many people reach out and say, I like yoga, but like, can Christians do it? Or like, what is down dog? Can you break it all down for me? That's what this DVD does. Over 14 videos, I show you how to do and modify like the 7 most common yoga poses. And we string them together in some short yoga practices. So if you live in the US or Canada, I would love to send you one of these. I realized this morning that it's prohibitively expensive for us to mail these pretty much anywhere else in the world. So unfortunately for this giveaway, it's the US and Canada, but we'll select someone from the 3 platforms and send you one of these. So, Allison is just pulling that up for me while we do that. I want to tell you about what we're going to focus on tomorrow. So tomorrow's practice, tomorrow if you're part of the church calendar, like if that really interests you, tomorrow is Shrove Tuesday, also known as Mardi Gras, also known as Fat Tuesday. It's the day before Ash Wednesday. And so tomorrow's practice is going to be focused on gratitude and celebration and abundance. So if you feel like those things are lacking in your life, or you're like, oh, gratitude comes easily to me, I have so much to be thankful for, that's going to be the heart of tomorrow's practice. We're going to talk about the table and how we can weave that into our bodies and our breath through the yoga practice. Again, that's at 12 noon tomorrow, and I would love for you to join me live. Okay, so here we go. Oh, Casey said you love the side stretch. I'm so glad, Casey. Seated variation, Marcy says, seated variations is hard for her cross-legged. Yes, that is totally common, and I hear from people a lot. Another option is just to put your legs out straight. This can be uncomfortable after a while, so if you've got a blanket at home or a pillow you can sit on, that'll make it a lot easier. You can also sit in a chair. Like all of the stretches we did today, you can do seated in a chair. So there's lots of ways to find something to work for you, and I want to empower you to explore some of those variations for yourself, right? I'll try and offer as many as I can today, but if you're like, this doesn't feel good, don't do it. Yeah, you don't have to do it to get it right. Find something that feels better in your body, and if cross-legged like this just feels like too much work or it hurts your knees, sit in a chair instead. Sit on some pillows or blankets so that you're more upright and it feels a bit more comfortable. Find what works for your body, but know that if it doesn't feel good, don't push it, yeah? Tawny from Facebook, leaning and twisting while seated felt surprisingly great. Yes, I didn't realize how much stress and tension I've been carrying in my rib cage. Remembering to breathe deep feels like an act of faith today. Yes and amen. We hold so much stress in our lungs, in the sides of our ribs. This is where we hold it all together, right? Sort of this part of our body. And our breath, though, comes not just in our lungs from the front and back of our chest, but in the sides of our ribs. They need to expand side to side for us to take a deep breath. But if we're so chronically tight like this all the time, it can be really hard to take a big full breath in. Yeah? And so any kind of side bending you can do like we did today, or the arching and rounding of our spine just to create more space in the front and back sides of our bodies is going to help us breathe more deeply. And when we breathe more deeply, we're more relaxed, we're less anxious, we're more present and grounded, and we can hold a lot of trauma in this space in our bodies, and trauma and grief choke out our breath. So this is why yoga is such a beautiful practice, because it invites space into those places where we hold chronic tension and grief. JKA Wilson from Instagram loved crushing anxiety and asking the Lord what he has in replacement. This is what you received today. Yes, crushing anxiety is not from God. Confusion is not from God. And so we can recognize when we stop and slow down for just 10 seconds and be like, wait a second, what am I carrying? Is this really what God has for me today? Friend, no. The Bible says, Jesus says that his yoke is easy and his burden is light. So if what I'm carrying feels hard and heavy, that's not from God. And that's not to say that life is always easy and bright, right? We do hard things, but there's a difference between doing something that's hard and being weighed down by something that is too heavy and that we were never meant to carry in the first place. So good. Okay, let's give away some DVDs, shall we? Rally A. Larray from Instagram says down dog is hardest in the morning. I hear you. I'm gonna send you one of these to break down what downward dog is, how it feels in your body. It can be quite an intense pose, yeah? So it may not be the pose that's right for you first thing in the morning, and that's great. But if you will just, Allison's gonna drop our email address in the comments too, but it's just hello@theyogaabbey.com, and we will totally send this to you. Let's see, who else should we give this away to? Let's do Esther from YouTube. I like forward fold, holding onto my elbows and swinging my knees side to side while seated. Yes, Esther! Girlfriend, I'm gonna send you one of these too. Email hello@theyogaabbey.com. We'll drop it in the comments so you have it. I also love forward folding in the mornings. It feels really tight, and my legs are never gonna be straight first thing in the morning, but just to lengthen through the back of my body feels amazing. So I'm totally with you on that. And Sherry Chisholm from Facebook, I'm gonna send you one of these too. Email hello@theyogaabbey.com. Thank you for commenting and for being with us today about and sharing what felt good in your body. So tomorrow I'm gonna be giving away 3 items from the Abbey gift shop. So join in live to take advantage of those. And I'm gonna hang out here and answer questions for a couple more minutes. So if you have questions about the Abbey, about yoga, about does this feel normal in your body, leave a comment and I'll answer it. Bartholomew English on Instagram asks, where in her down dog should she feel the stretch most? Good question. Okay, so downward dog, the shape we're trying to make is a triangle with our body. And a triangle is the most stable shape in all of geometry. Ideally, we've got equal line here, equal angle between our hands and our feet. So this up here, your hips, your hands are over here, and your hips are over here. So we're trying to lengthen between each of these points. So from your fingertips to your hips, your spine is getting really long. So hopefully over time, you begin to feel a stretch through the sides of your ribs, through the sides of your armpits, maybe even along the sides of your arms. And then from the top of your hips here down to your heels, you'll feel a really nice stretch through the back of your legs, your hamstrings, your calves, maybe even through your hips. Mostly where I feel it is in my legs, but we don't want downward dog to just be a top heavy pose or bottom heavy pose. Does that make sense? If we're doing downward dog and all of our weight is in our hands and our shoulders are way up here by our ears, and we're just praying for the teacher to say do something different, we're not doing it right. Downward dog is one of those poses where finding the right shape changes the whole experience of it. So you are not wrong if the pose is wrong, but if we can get the pose right in your body, it changes the whole experience of it and makes it a place that you can breathe in. Because if you can't breathe in the shape, it's not the right shape for your body. So where I feel, especially first thing in the morning when my body is still cold, where I feel downward dog most is in my legs. But once I'm warmer, once I've moved a bit in my practice, and I'm able to find an equal weight distribution between hands, hips, heels, I can find that stretch nice and evenly through the upper part of my body and the lower part of my body. Does that make sense? Yeah? Becky asked to have chest stretches tomorrow, please. We can do that. Yeah, we can do that. This that we did was sort of a little bit of a chest stretch, but there's some really beautiful, gentle heart openers available to us, and we can totally explore that tomorrow. It's a beautiful set of poses to explore, especially as we're talking about gratitude. Okay, people want to know where you can buy the DVDs. We have a limited number of them left, but if you go to foundationsofyoga.com, you can buy them there. They're on sale right now. So if you're looking to start yoga, that's one place to get them. The other places to get the series is in the Abbey. So we just made the digital version of this series available in the Abbey for free to all Abbey members, and it's just $17 a month to be part of the Abbey. So if you're like, oh hey, I want to learn yoga and learn also some meditation and also get some devotional resources and be part of a global community, then friend, come join the Abbey. This series is available in there so that you can start your yoga practice right at the foundations. We'll work with you to create like a 2-week custom plan to help introduce you to some of the Abbey content, connect you with our best beginner level videos, and then you can join us as we explore different themes throughout the year. Yeah, so to learn more about the Abbey, to get signed up, to take advantage of this series that's available in the Abbey for free, go to theyogaabbey.com. Allison can also drop that in the comments so that you have it. And if you, we just built a new website for the Abbey actually, so come over and check it out. It's a brand new website, theyogaabbey.com is the website. And once we hop off our live streaming here, I'm actually going to be live chatting over on that website. So if you still have questions or comments or want to share what God did or spoke for you and with you on your yoga mat, I would love to hear and connect with you more. So you can chat with me more live there. And that's it, friends, for today. I'm going to hop off so I can keep chatting with you. You can also DM me or comments or whatever platform you're on. I'll be around today and totally come to the Abbey's website and chat with me there as soon as we hop off. So I'll be back here at noon Eastern time again tomorrow. I'm going to be giving away something from the Abbey's gift shop. We're going to be doing a heart opening, gratitude-based yoga practice. I am so grateful that you joined us, friends. Come and chat with me over on the Abbey's website, and I will see you back on your mat here tomorrow.